All right, hey, before we start today's show, we want to talk about the presenting sponsor, Miller Lite. We're here.
That's it?
We're here.
We're here.
We're here. We're here to drink Miller Lite.
Yep, all summer long.
We're here. Because I'm shooting the breeze. This is what we do. This is what podcasting is, for the most part. You're just shooting the breeze. And nothing better than shooting the breeze on mic or off mic with a nice ice-cold Miller Lite.
That's the foundation of the name Barstool Sports. Whatever you're going to talk about, we're sitting on a Barstool, and that's what we do here. Did you know that? You looked at me like you're confused. That's why Dave named it that.
Thank you.
There's a little history lesson for you.
I did know that.
Yeah.
I'm sure a lot of people are going to be like a cookout, or, whatever, grill out sometime this summer, and they're going to be in there with the last Miller Lite. Like, we should really give the people out there like what to do to settle that score.
Who gets the last one?
You do?
Who gets the last one?
You drink that last one yourself.
If you're the one who grabs it?
Yeah.
What if it's like the host's house and they're like looking at you like, what the fuck?
If it's the host, they should have got more beer. But if you do grab the last Miller Lite, you know what you then have to do? You have to find delivery options near you.
There you go.
Yeah.
I like that, Chief.
Yeah.
Miller Lite, great taste, 96 calories, tastes like Miller Lite. To get Miller Lite delivered right to your door, visit MillerLite.com/Redline, or you could find it pretty much anywhere that sells beer. Celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewing Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
I will say this: whenever you guys are out, we get like on weekend at baseball game, whatever, we get a little bit of an influx of pictures with you and your Miller Lite.
I love that.
It's great.
Yeah,
bombs away with those.
Yeah.
Send them all over here.
And if you can't find it anywhere else, Eddie will hand deliver it to you, just like he does with Pat Bev.
Yeah, that's true too. I am his hand deliverer, Miller Lite.
Yep.
So, all right, Big Bang. Welcome to the Mid Show, presented by Miller Lite. We are here in studio, joined by guest Chicago native Steve Wilkos. Steve, you're back in town. Like I said to you out there, you're opening up Toots again on Montrose. Thank you for doing that. We're in need of another hot dog stand.
Is Toots even there anymore?
Nah, it's gone. I mean, there's something in its place, but it's not the old shack like it used to be.
Yeah.
I talked about that with you on the first time you did the show with us, but I don't know. What do you think? Would you reopen something like that? Have you always been in the market for a hot dog stand?
No, the place I would open is Heroes.
Dude.
Like, what happened to that place?
Dude,
somebody buys it and then they, never open it?
I heard what happened about that, actually. I don't know. It's a little too inside Chicago detail, but I'll tell you off mic.
Okay. I've been dying to know.
Yeah. I'll give you a little scoop.
Great mystery.
We'll get some
you got to
scoopers.
tease us a little bit. You can't do that.
I don't want to get into the guy's business deal on the show, Dave. But I'll tell you. I'll tell Steve. He's from here. He gets it,
but like the thing with Heroes, that place has been around before I was born.
Yeah.
I worked there as a kid when I was 14. My sister worked there.
Oh, you worked at Heroes?
Oh yeah, I worked at Heroes. And
no shit.
Yeah, so and it was great because we didn't have a lot of food in the kitchen, at home. So when I was working there, man, I was eating 6 submarines a shift,
Yeah, there you go.
So
there you go. That's like as lame tech as you can get. Just going a lane and working at Heroes.
Yeah, and the thing is, what the mystery is, like, that place was always busy.
Yeah.
Like, somebody buys it and they just shut down a place that's a gold mine.
Yeah.
I just don't get it.
Yeah. No,
I'm sure there's a reason why.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get off.
Were you a John's Pizza guy right up there?
When I was a cop, I ate
Yeah.
at John's Pizza, but my pizza place from my neighborhood was Pete's Pizza.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
I'm
love
always a
Pete's.
toss-up between those two places right there.
When I was a cop in 14, I would eat at John's, but like when I come back now, in fact, I was in town for Cubs opening day, and I spent the weekend, and I met my brother-in-laws and my nephew. We all went to Pete's Pizza.
Oh, nice.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. What's like your first stop when you're back in town? What's on the list, I guess?
Well, it would always be Heroes.
Oh, damn. Really?
Heroes. So, so now, like, I always try to go to Pete's Pizza, and then there's a burrito place on Montrose, just west of Lincoln Avenue. It's right off the alley, and I don't even know what it's called.
You're after my guy's heart over here.
Yeah, you are. I thought I'm blanking on it. This was at like Western and probably Armitage or so. There's an awesome Mexican place right there. So
Western and Armitage.
Yeah, right up there somewhere.
Yeah,
maybe Fullerton-ish.
Oh, Lazo's.
I know Lazo's. Lazo's is awesome too.
Yeah.
I mean, he has a guy in his neighborhood. He calls him his burrito dealer.
Yeah.
Like how he just slings them burritos all the time.
But then there's a place in 14th District also, La Pasadita at Division.
I've gotten that
Ashland.
place 1,000 times.
Yeah.
Also
they
excellent.
have the best meat for any
Their Al
burrito
Pastor
place.
is just so sweet and perfectly cooked.
Oh, God.
They used to call it the Little Yellow House, right? Because it used to be across the street.
Right.
It was-
But there's 3 of them. There was when I was a cop. So there was the one right on the corner, and then there was a restaurant across the street, and then another one down the street. So, they're doing something right. You got 3 same restaurants on one block.
Yeah. Well, do you come back and do you see a lot of your old copper friends?
I saw him last night when I was walking around.
Oh, yeah?
I was walking down Rush Street last night, and I saw a lot of them. But a lot of guys that I was friends with and was on a job with, they're all retired now.
Yeah. Did they give you shit? They're like, come on, man. You should be on the beat with us. And
No,
you're
man.
fucking-
They understand. Like, they don't want to be out there either, man.
Yeah, for sure.
Jeez.
Did you give him any tips on how to get out of that?
No, because I don't know how it happened to me. So,
Well, you were just working security for Jerry, right?
Yeah, but I mean, nobody goes to a security job and say, "Yeah, I'm going to get a TV show out of this."
Yeah,
like
for sure.
I never once auditioned, tried out, did anything to be in TV. Okay, next year it'll be my 30th straight year on TV. People that are in this business that are trained and they can't say that. There's only a few people in the world that can say that.
You're just
30
a natural.
straight years again.
Yeah, 30 years is unbelievable.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's half my life that I've been on TV.
Yep.
That's nuts, man.
Yeah.
Do you see like an end here, or do you like you'll do it for as long as you can? Or do you not like? Will you get out at some point?
I always said I wanted to retire at 50, but then you get to 50 and you're like, man, I'm still young, and
Feel good.
Get bored.
Yeah, you get bored, right? So you get, and my schedule's not a killer. It's 2 days a week. It's 6 months on, but I don't. I mean, listen, I don't want to be Jerry Springer. You get done, and then you got 8 months to live, right? Like, and he loved, and I'll tell you, that guy, if he didn't have pancreatic cancer, he would have worked. If he still had a show, he would have done a show and then went home and died. That's the way the guy was. Like, he loved the work.
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy. But so the answer to your question is, I see, I have a son that's going to be a senior coming up in the fall in high school. My daughter's a junior in college. She's going to go to law school. So, I got some big bills ahead of me.
Yeah.
I want to
Keep working.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Can't just put the feet
Yeah.
up.
I told my kids, please renounce your citizenship, go over to Mexico, sneak back over the
Yes.
border, and then Mayor Adams in New York will give you free college.
Did you? I mean, speaking of that, obviously, very sad news last month about Jerry.
The guy I thought would live to 100, right? Like, the
Yeah.
guy was very energetic, just boundless energy. But pancreatic cancer is one you just can't beat.
It's a brutal one. It's crazy too. You mentioned how much he loved the work. He was on one of our podcasts like 2-3 weeks before he died, and I personally didn't have any clue.
Right.
Oh,
So
yeah.
he knew.
Yeah.
He looked good.
About that same time he was on your podcast, he came up to Connecticut. He had no reason to come back up to Connecticut, but I think he came up to say goodbye to a lot of people. And I went out and had a cigar with him, and he didn't say, "Hey, I got cancer, I'm dying," but he was acting in a way where, now looking back, I think he was saying goodbye to me. He's very emotional, telling me he loves me a lot, and we were very close. But and I thought he was just being very melancholy because his career was over, and I think he was sad about that. But yeah, so here he is. When he did your podcast, he obviously knew he was dying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
He had to have.
He had to have.
Yeah.
You got pancreatic cancer, you're dying.
Yep.
And you only got a few months.
Yeah.
And see, like, if you told me today I had pancreatic cancer, you ain't never talking to me again.
Oh, I'm fucking like that movie with Morgan Freeman and Jack Nicholson.
I mean, come on.
Was there anything like if you'd be comfortable sharing like anything in that conversation that really struck you? Looking back?
So so what happened was he called up some of the crew from his old crew that work on my show and said, "Hey, I'm going to be in town tonight. Let's go to dinner." So my cameraman came in and he goes, "Hey, Jerry's going to be in town." And I said, "Well, Jerry's going to be in town. What the fuck is he doing here?" But he goes, "Oh, we're going to all go to dinner." And I said, "No," because when I'm taping, people think, "Oh, all you do is talk." But I'm exhausted after doing shows.
For sure.
Yeah.
So I go home and I do nothing. I get in my chair and, I'm done. So I said, "Nah, I can't do it." Well, then Jerry called me and said, "Hey, I really want to see it." I said, "Jerry, I don't want to go to dinner with a bunch of guys." I go, "If you want to have a cigar with me after you go to dinner, call me and I'll meet you." So John Starks, the old next player, he has a cigar bar a couple miles from my house. So me and Jerry went there, and what now looking back struck me as odd, and I even struck me a little bit odd that night because we talked about old times, and I I don't like talking about old times because I think it's loser talk.
Yeah.
You know, when I get with my old friends here in Chicago, we tell the same goddamn stories I've heard a million times. I don't want to hear them anymore, man, you know?
Yeah.
And with Jerry, we would always get together and we would talk. My son's a baseball player, football player. His grandson's a basketball player, baseball player. So we would always talk about my kid, his grandson, right? Like what they were doing, what camps they were going to, what colleges they were wanted to go to. We would talk sports. We would talk politics. You know, Jerry's the ultra-liberal. I'm a conservative guy. So we would always have conversations like that. But for this night, we really talked about old times. And that what struck me as odd because we never did that. And I think it was his way of just going on memory lane, you know?
Yeah.
So,
Was there like a distinct memory that he brought up that?
no, we were just talking about how much fun we had in the show.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
just, you know, that's never going to be replicated in any show. I don't care who
Never.
it is, how famous you are, what kind of rate. First of all, nobody gets ratings like the Springer Show did
Yeah.
back then.
No.
It's impossible.
You probably can't even do a show like that.
You know,
Yeah.
there was times you felt like a bomb went off in the audience because the explosion of noise.
Yeah.
You know, somebody reveal something like, ah, you know, everybody, you know, and we'd have 250 people in that audience. That's a lot of people for a studio.
Dude, I was going to say that. So that can't be stated enough. Like, obviously, it had a nationwide, phenomenon, but locally
Worldwide.
with the city, worldwide. But locally with the city, I remember like my parents and their friends going,
Oh,
like,
yeah.
we got a party bus, we're going to the
Yeah.
Springer Show. It's
Yeah.
like, I can't wait to do that shit when I'm older. you
I
know?
mean, you know, people pregame to go to a football game. People were pregaming to come to the Springer Show. I mean, the audience was intoxicated.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
dude.
Like, God.
Were there ever days where you could like look out and be like, I got to be on my game today?
No. I only say that because I was in my own little world, man.
Okay.
I loved just going to work. I didn't even consider it work. I mean, it was like being in high school.
Yeah.
You know, pulling each other's pants down, just doing crazies.
Guys being
just
dudes.
go so
Yeah.
off,
Yeah.
so off script.
And it's funny you say that. You never expected it. We have a crew of security guys in New York who kind of protect our office. They're former NYPD guys, and they love it. To them, it's like the best, side gig, retired gig you can have because it's very.
I was just there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sure you saw those
Yeah.
guys, and and they're doing it here too. And I've had so many CPD friends hit me up, be like, "Hey, like, how do I get in on the action?" They want to be the next Steve, you know?
Yeah.
They want to be.
And it's so crazy because what happened was when I started on Springer in '94, I became friends with a lot of guys that it's just like you guys are all becoming friends, right?
Yep.
Well, everybody's behind the scenes. Jerry's the only star on the show. Well, then I became known on the show, right? Like I became kind of like the second banana on the show. And then other people like Todd, the stage manager, and Brian Schnorr became Reverend Schnorr, the drunk priest. And so like people started becoming known on the show.
Yeah.
Well, when I got my show, I think it screwed up a lot of guys. I think a lot of guys thought, I'm next in line. I'm going to get a show. You know how hard it is to get a TV show? I mean, it's so
Impossible.
incredibly hard. And, the Springer Show, let's face it, had a huge stigma to it. No matter what anybody says, it has a huge stigma. So the fact that I got a show, there was nothing else that was going to be launched off that show. You know what I mean? Nobody else was getting a show. And I just tell people all the time, it's amazing I got a show, so...
Dude, and the impact too, like you just said, Jerry went back to have people on the crew that still work on your show that was on his. Like those tenures don't happen in show business either, where you're working on two shows for that long.
Yeah.
Oh, so like, when we moved to Connecticut, you had Jerry come in Monday, Tuesday, me Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Maury would tape Thursday, Friday. So, these camera guys, sound guys, and everything, they're working a full week. And with overtime, Monday through Friday. So, they were,
Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
pigs and,
Yeah.
work
Yeah.
on it. You know what I
That's a
mean?
lot of shit for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah.
Definitely. So what's going on? When's the new season start and everything?
I think I go back to last week in August.
Nice. And that you're in town for just hanging out, just doing interviews?
WCIU,
Nice.
the station I'm there, and we did a promotion with them in November where we're going to be in Oak Lawn today, and people come out, you go to Jewel, and you fill a bag with groceries, non-perishables, cans,
Oh, nice.
rice.
Oh, cool.
And they donate it to people that are in need.
Oh,
of
nice.
it. Yeah.
That's sweet.
Very nice.
What was there any? What storyline got you the most excited for work? Was there any, or was it just like I don't care if it's a you are not the father dispute? Or
Oh,
if
you
it's-
talking about my show?
Yeah.
I never know what this topic is.
I remember you saying that actually.
Yeah, so when I go in cold. I don't know what it's about. And like my wife is my executive producer, and she, COVID changed everything, right? So instead of her going into the office and hearing stories, she hears them at home now. You know what I mean? She doesn't go into the office anymore. They pitch to her on the phone, and she approves whatever stories, and she's always like leaving the room or telling me to leave the room, so I don't know. And I don't want to know.
So you want like an organic reaction. Yeah.
It's not like I told her, I go, it's not like I'm listening in,
Yeah, no, for sure.
I don't want to know.
I've been doing this for 30 years. I don't give a shit. Yeah.
Austin Powers aside, has there ever been an episode maybe that even didn't get aired because it was too racy, or
My show?
either over your whole
Well,
career?
no, I mean, there's been shows that we had to pull for legal reasons. I know. I mean, I can't even know the details. Even I probably wouldn't share them anyways because of legal reasons. But I know one woman came on our show and she failed, and I don't even know what the particular storyline was, but she became such a pain in the ass and threatened to sue. And usually we don't care about threatening to sue because you sign your life away before you come on.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
it's ironclad. But she became such a pain in the ass. Like I think we aired the show, but then we just said we'll never air it again.
Yeah,
but it's too expensive not to air shows.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
we don't
for
have
sure.
big budgets. You know what I mean?
For sure. When did you go to Stanford?
2009.
2000. Were you there when the whole Travis the chimpanzee shit went down? Are you aware of that?
That happened after I moved there. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, the woman, she got her arms.
Yeah, I
and
did a
face.
documentary
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah, and he
yeah.
did a doc on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was there.
Investigative journalism.
I'd have beat that monkey's ass.
Ooh, I don't know, Steve.
I'm telling you,
Steve,
man.
No, dude.
I'd have whipped that. I would have
Travis
whipped,
he was an angry boy.
That monkey would fuck you up.
There was this show I used to watch. Well, it was a one-off show. It was called Man vs. Beast, and it had you remember Kobayashi, the hot dog eater. He had to eat hot dogs against a bear. Some Olympic sprinter raced a giraffe. They had a chimpanzee tug of war with a sumo wrestler, and the chimpanzee with one arm just threw the sumo wrestler. So you'd have your work cut out.
No, listen,
out for
man.
you.
I'm joking around. Chimpanzee would fucking destroy me. You know what I mean?
What would
Come
be your
on.
plan of attack though? If
Yeah.
if you ever found yourself in that situation?
I'd be trying to kick it right in the face.
Yeah,
Just-
all right.
Yeah,
What if
because-
they gave you like a nightstick or a baseball bat? Still,
Dude, that monkey be shoving it up my ass, right? Man.
I mean, probably.
yeah,
but
it's like even when I was a cop, there were some guys you don't want to take the gun out of holster in case they got a hold of it,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You're worried about you getting shot with your own gun.
Yeah.
Right. So no, I don't want nothing to do with no monkey.
Yeah. If you do, you have what's an animal you think you could take?
A dog.
A dog.
Because I've done it.
Okay.
When I was a cop, I got really good at timing. The dog would be charging, and then just when it's leaping, you kick that boot right in the snaz. you
Stop
know?
them in their tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just flip them around, put them in the walls of Jericho.
Oh yeah.
That
Because dogs, I've been bit a few times, man.
Yeah.
It's painful.
I'm sure.
yeah.
This guy, he hates dogs.
That's not true, Steve.
I love dogs.
Yeah, me too.
I like
We all
dogs
do,
too.
except for Eddie.
I like dogs
But
too.
when you're a cop, you encounter a lot of dogs.
Yeah.
I'm
and
sure, yeah.
dogs are, they can be
A
vicious.
problem. Yeah.
Yeah, if you're not, for sure.
Well, when I worked on the West Side, when I was over at Harrison and Kedzie, when I was working the midnight shift, they would have gangs of dogs. Okay, you would be driving, and then all of a sudden, you'd see this massive black spot moving. You're like,
What, feral dogs?
Yeah,
Oh,
and there'd be
shit.
50 of them in a pack, and I'm like, holy.
Fuck that.
Yeah, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm like,
Reach for the shotgun.
Guy's like, you don't do nothing, man.
Yeah.
You stay in the car and you just keep driving.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
so
what's
So
scary.
that was crazy. I don't know if they still have that problem, but they had it back
We got
then.
coyotes now instead.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, we got a big rat problem now.
Yeah. Maybe bring
there
those
was
dogs back.
Plenty of rats when I was here, back as a cop 30
were
years
they?
ago. I remember we walked up a back flight of stairs on an open back porch, and I got up there and it was dark, and I saw the floor moving. I was like, am I drunk? And then I realized it was just covered with rats. Yeah.
That's like that Indiana Jones. With
Yeah,
snakes.
yeah,
It was
yeah,
the
yeah,
floor.
yeah.
I don't
Gross.
fuck with rats.
Yeah, rats are
No,
gross.
you don't want. You don't want. And there's
Yeah?
nothing you can do with them. There's a million of them.
Do you enjoy Connecticut?
Let's put it this way. I can't wait to leave.
Okay.
But it's been a great place to raise a family, good school system. I live in an area which I guess you would compare it to like Glencoe or Winnetka. I have a beautiful house. I belong to a country club that
Merritt
I golf
Parkway?
every day. I'm right off the Merritt Parkway.
It's the worst highway in
I'm right-
America.
No, it's actually very nice.
Traffic.
Oh, well, yeah,
It's beautiful. It's a beautiful drive.
It's
but
only
the
traffic if there's an accident, which
Always.
an accident shuts it down.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, I like the Merritt because I have a lake house in Connecticut, and then I'll shoot up the Merritt. I go up there.
There you go.
Yeah. You got time to Merritt, that's for sure.
Yeah.
He's where do you think you'll settle once you're out of there?
I don't know. I'm always going to keep my Wisconsin lake house.
Oh, you still got
still have my
Wisconsin?
Wisconsin lake
Lake
house.
Geneva.
How often do you get up there?
I was actually going to go up tomorrow, but I got something going on at home, so I got to go back tomorrow. But I was going to go up there and spend the weekend. I get up there during the summer. I try to get up there 3-4 times.
Oh,
in the
nice.
summer. Opening day, I went up there. I spent a couple
There you
days
go.
up there.
Oh, nice. So you're here, like kind
Good
of.
amount.
How often do you come here?
Not as
No?
much as I'd like.
Yeah.
But so to answer your question, I'm not going to come back to Chicago because Chicago's heading in the wrong direction, just like New York and San Francisco and everything else.
Many people agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's a fact, right? I mean, Texas are going through this. You got this mayor who's lets people commit crimes and says, "Oh, they're just kids, acting out." So, who wants to deal with that? But anyways, I bought a place down in Florida, southern Florida. So I'm going to spend winters down there. Probably keep my lake house in Wisconsin, spend some time there, and probably downsize a little bit. And my daughter's in Boston. I don't know where my son's going to end up. So maybe have something in Connecticut, just a home base.
Yeah. What Chief right there? He's on record saying Connecticut's the worst state in the United States.
Sucks, man.
Yep.
I
thought he was going to defend me.
No.
First of all, it's like, you ever hear anybody go, "I'm going on vacation to Connecticut"?
No, they
I'm
go to
going-
like Nantucket or like the better places that are
Well,
nearby.
but that's Massachusetts,
Yeah. Right, right.
I
Get
go
out
to
of that
Nantucket.
state.
I go to Martha's Vineyard. Or people go out to the Hamptons. Nobody says, "I'm going to Connecticut." I had been in Connecticut one day of my life before I moved out there. I was wrestling, and The Rock's cousin, who looks just like him, by the way, was one of the guys there, and it was in Hartford. And I remember the guy driving the airport. I go, What's here? There's nothing here. Now where I live, it's beautiful, right
Yeah.
by the
Yeah,
ocean.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, but like, it's just not for me.
Yeah. No, it makes.
It's nice, close to New York. You go down to New York every once in a while.
You get hit a bunch. Are you like the Vineyard or are you like?
I like it, but
Nantucket
Vineyard I
better.
like better than Nantucket.
Oh, you do?
But so I have a buddy that is a member at Nantucket Golf Club, which is one of the greatest golf courses. And so we'll go up there usually every summer. We spend 3 or 4 days up there playing golf
How often
yeah.
you getting golfing these days?
every day.
Every single day.
We all just
Every
got
day?
new clubs, so we're looking for
What'd you buy?
Tailor-made.
That's what I got.
There you go.
Let's go,
Yeah, we're
Steve.
looking for a fourth. So
Tailor-made.
you can
Yeah.
complete our foursome here.
Well, when you guys get an invitation out to Medina, give me a call. No.
We can actually make that. We got
actually get out
contact.
to
All right,
Medina.
let's see if we can get them going right now.
All right,
All
you'll
right.
come to Medina.
Yes,
All
I
right.
always won the golf there.
Oh, you never played in Medina?
No.
All right, we
All right.
have a contact.
I'm
We
I'm
can make this
texting
happen.
him right now.
Yeah.
Next time you come out, when so you golf today?
I will make a no because I'm working today.
Oh, yeah.
But when I'm home, my country club's a mile from my house,
Just
and I so most guys are still working during the week, and so I play with one guy that's even younger than me, and he's been retired forever. He's a very wealthy guy, and I play with an older guy that's retired and another guy that's retired, and we play every day. We first tee time, boom. So 8:00 on the weekdays, 7:40 on the weekends, boom. We're done by 11:30. I got the rest of the day.
That's it. That's nice. That don't sound too bad.
No,
Steve.
it's good life.
Yeah. No, yeah. Well
I
then-
texted him.
All right, yeah.
I texted him. So
Shout
we'll
out
see
to
if we
Johnny.
Make that
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
huh?
Yeah,
get
we'll
you
go to
back out
Medina.
here.
Hot
Yeah.
dogs around me.
Yeah, there you go. All right then, Steve. Thank you for popping in. It's always fun to chop it up.
Thanks
with
for
you.
having me.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
when's the new season air? You said late August.
We start taping late August, but it'll probably premiere like the third week in September.
Anything
Season
else?
17.
Season 17.
That's
Seven.
so long.
So-
And how many were you with Jerry fully?
from 1994 to 2007.
Yeah, so that's your 30 years. So 12,
There you
12
go.
13
Yep.
years. Yeah.
Congratulations
Yeah,
on an
it's awesome.
amazing
Sick, man.
career.
That's
Yeah,
sick.
thanks.
Anything you want to get out there? Anything to?
No, man. I mean, the only thing I do is my show, and you
Yeah.
know, people are watching it, and check me out on Instagram, Steve J. Wilkos at Instagram.
For sure.
I kind of want to pitch you on another show. We'll do that off camera too.
As long as there's money involved,
Well, I can't guarantee you
or
that.
golf,
Yeah, money
Or
or golf.
Golf, I can make happen.
or cigars.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
I went to Biggs just before we go.
oh, great spot.
You guys been to Biggs?
I did an interview there with the manager. We had like a whole thing.
Oh
It was
man!
cool.
So I used to live 2 doors down. I lived at 1122 Dearborn.
Yeah.
And Biggs was a restaurant back then,
Mm-hmm.
but they always had the cigar place in the bottom. But now the whole thing's a cigar joint.
Oh yeah.
I went over there. I walked all around Chicago yesterday. I went down, went to the London House, had some appetizers, walked the riverfront. I never did that in my life, so I walked there. Then I walked back down to my hotel, and then so I laid down. I'm like, man, it's early. It's like 8 o'clock, But in the East Coast, it's 9 o'clock. So
Bedtime.
I'm like, yeah, dude, Lakers game's on. I hate the Lakers. I want the Lakers to lose. So
Yeah.
I said, I'm going to walk over there, smoke a cigar. And the girls there, I'm not a member there because I don't live there. But so they always let me go up into the private rooms.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
very
yeah.
nice to me. And so I smoked a cigar, and it was just fabulous.
Yeah.
I love that place.
Yeah, it's sweet. I don't know if you guys have ever
I've
been
never
there,
been.
but like
haven't.
I remember
said,
your interview. Yeah.
Yeah, so I did one up the top where they got the poker tables and whatnot.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It's sweet
Yeah.
up there. Do you have like a go-to cigar?
Oh, when I go there, they have these nice 1926 Padrones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so I smoked that when I'm there.
I like Padron.
Yeah, it's
I like
a good cigar.
Davidoff too. You like
Yeah,
Davidoff?
Davidoff's good. It's so
Yeah.
goddamn expensive.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
I know, right?
If I had Barstool money, maybe I'd be
I don't. The first one I had was there. It was only like $25, $50 or
Yeah.
something like that. But I don't smoke them all the time. So
Well, I smoked every day.
every day, one cigar. How many?
Front 9, back 9.
Front
Oh,
9, back
damn,
9.
that's a
We
lot of
gotta
cigar.
we gotta set up. You remember Joel Quenville from the Blackhawks,
Yeah.
coach of the Blackhawks?
Yeah.
We played in a
At golf. What was it called? What was the country? Avon Country Club? we played.
up in Avon. And what was it? He had to do like one every 3 holes or
Oh,
something
man.
like that.
He just-
Well, he smoked
oh,
some
man.
small ones. Then.
he had the little ones, but he had a couple of the big ones too. And
I
he was
get
flying through
like
them.
a 60 by 7, ring cigar.
Yeah.
And so that's good for like 9 holes.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
No,
he
we
reps
got to
them
get you
now.
guys together. He's in
Yeah.
Connecticut.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And he loves golf.
and he loves
Don't-
golf.
I'll say this:
He actually
Connecticut,
hates golf.
He hates golf, but he plays
but
a
he
lot.
loves cigars.
Plays a lot.
Connecticut has great golf. I'll
Yeah.
say that. Like my course is nice, but like I said, my buddy played. So Monday, you ever hear Fisher's Island?
Yes.
It's a top 10 course in the world.
Okay.
You go up the Mystic, you catch a boat over to Fisher's Island, which is technically in the state of New York, and every hole is on the water, and it is, man, it's
Spectacular.
And my buddy's a member. It's so hard to get on
Yeah.
there, but like people would give their left ball to play there.
Yeah.
I play there like 8 times a summer, man, because my buddy's a member, so I'm very fortunate.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. There's just great
Yeah.
golf on the East Coast,
Yep.
Even better than Florida. Like I'm moving to Florida, like gonna live down there, and golf's nothing like it's flat. Florida's
Yeah,
flat.
yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I mean?
It's different.
But
for
I've joined
sure.
a club that they say that they're really gonna make it nice. So hopefully,
Gonna fix
they're-
it up.
they're-
They sold you.
They're building it
Yeah.
right now. So,
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so
That's
it's
nice.
gonna be it's supposed to be a really nice club.
That sounds sick.
So if anybody feels like they want to donate to my
Your country club
your
membership.
country club dues,
yeah. We'll
I
have to
have,
get you on the
Country
beef
Club
kits. We
beat.
got
Yeah.
it.
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah.
You'll start slinging beef kit. We got these Italian beef kits we sell
Yep.
right there.
Oh well,
yeah.
I love Italian beef.
We'll take
Yeah.
one
You
with
No,
you.
they
put it in your
don't.
bag.
They don't sell them out. They
I
don't sell
know it.
Italian beef. on
You
the
should
coast.
look
Do
at
this
these.
with the crock pot.
Yeah.
We'll send you. We'll let
Yeah.
you take one with you.
TasteRealChicago.com. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's sweet. It
Yeah.
gives you everything you need to make it besides the meat. And
That's
the
a
buns.
great idea, man.
Yeah.
I'm sure they're doing well.
Yeah.
No, they're
Oh,
good.
yeah.
They're
Uh-huh.
real good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're pretty popular.
Yeah, JP Graziano, West Side,
Yeah.
Randolph Street.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's usually because when I come in, they got that Patillos over on, what is that, Ontario?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
They go get
Yeah.
a Patillos because, and they don't have Jardinier on
Well,
East Coast.
buddy.
I went into a store when I moved out there. I'm like, "Where's your Jardinier?" And they're like,
What?
"Yeah." They're
They
like,
have no idea what
Yeah.
it is.
For sure.
"Oh, there
That's
you
what,
go."
it.
that's
There
what
you
you
go.
need
That's
right
what you
there.
want.
Yeah.
Yeah, go
That's
to
good.
TasteRealChicago.com to grab them.
Oh my God, I put that stuff on everything.
We actually got a
Everything.
sale right
I'm
now.
like Betty White, but with remember she did that commercial, Frank's Hot Sauce?
Yeah.
I put that shit on everything.
Yeah. No, yeah. So I should say that for anybody listening too. They're doing a sale right now. Buy 2 get 1 free. So it'll be 3 kits for $26. No code, anything needed. It's going to be live this morning, and then it runs through Sunday night. So make sure you guys go check it out if anyone wants to. TasteRealChicago.com. All right, Steve.
That was fun.
Sorry to extend your interview.
No,
we got
all the time
I'm
in the
sure you
world.
like talking about more stuff like that too once in a while. You always,
You said my Medina guy says you're in. Of course we can do it.
Well, we'll have to pick a date, man,
Yeah.
because I'll fly. Listen, I'm flying back anyways. I am going on safari. I'm going to Kenya, taking my family.
That's
Sick.
incredible.
Sick.
Right?
Yeah.
We're going next month. But after that, then I want to try to get back here for 4th of July, spend 10 days, over the 4th over here.
yeah.
All right.
Just sit on my boat,
For
smoke,
sure.
Smoke a pontoon boat, smoke the cigar.
All right, and we'll
We'll
get
get
you
a
out.
day.
Yeah,
And
we'll
then
pick a day.
play a little bit
yeah.
Diana.
Yeah, we
I
can
love
do
it.
that.
So
officially.
I have old crappy clubs up at my lake house, but I might have to bring my nice
Oh,
Get
you're
the
gonna
good
track
ones.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We got clubs here
Check a
you
bag.
can
He's
use
gonna.
if
He
need.
wants his own for Medina.
Yeah,
Medina,
it's
yeah.
if I'm going somewhere that's
Yeah.
I have a spare set of clubs I bring. But then if I'm going somewhere really nice, I bring my
the good stuff.
my,
good
my,
stuff, yeah.
my A set.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Well,
All right.
hit those TaylorMade straight.
Yeah.
Get some practice.
We're
in.
trying. Yep.
We'll play $100 a hole. When,
Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Strokes
Oh,
you
yeah.
giving me. I suck.
We're all
but
trash.
yeah, now I'm excited.
Yeah.
You guys are my best friends.
All right.
Perfect.
Well, that was our goal. So that's perfect.
Thanks, Steve. We appreciate it, man.
Thanks for having me.
All right, thanks again to Steve Wilkos. One more time, I wanted to pump the beef kit sale. Buy 2 get 1 free, like I said. So you get 3 kits for $26. Go to tasterealchicago.com
Huge
to make
deal.
that happen. It's a great deal, yeah. It's on sale today through Sunday night, so make sure you go check that out. Also, the Barstool store. We have our new Father's Day merch. We made this shirt. It's the dad shoes.
Yep.
The dad shoes Dave's wearing it. I'm holding it. It comes in navy and it comes in like a beige.
like a cream.
Yeah. Like if you chiming out, yeah, there you go.
I'd call
Chief's
that
got the
eggshell
undershirt.
white.
I don't. You know what, Dave? You can have that one. Is that an eggshell?
It looks like a little eggshell
All
white
right.
to me.
Yeah, good.
Yeah,
Eggshell.
listen, Father's Day is going to creep up on you, so just get Barstool Sports merch to make it happen for your dad.
And on top of that, cut the grass for him.
Maybe
Where-
he likes cutting the grass.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Yeah.
most dads enjoy
Yeah.
that. Wouldn't they be mad?
Yeah, for
Because
sure.
it's like everyone just leaves him alone.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
For sure. So there's a
I was
bunch of
always
other
a-
stuff. All of our hats are like for dads too.
Yep.
Like we got some Barstool Chicago golf merch. That's cool.
I just brought my dad a couple.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, so when I
That's
was home
great.
for Mother's Day, he's like, I'm starting to golf again. I don't have any hats. I'm like, all right, Dad, I'll get you a couple
I'll get you
hats.
one. So get that now. Shop at store.barstoolsports.com/collections
I'll tell you what.
/Barstool Dads.
Those girl dad hats. So my buddy, my business partner in Cleveland has 2 daughters, and one of them's a stud volleyball player. She plays on like a traveling team. I've gone to a bunch of their games. I used to be a stud volleyball player myself.
Okay.
But
Digger?
libero,
Okay.
basically
Yeah.
defense.
Yeah.
But
Barrow.
I got the dads that I've become friends with from going to these games, those girl dad hats. You would have thought I gave these guys Rolexes. They are so happy. They wear the shit out of them. They love them. Super proud. I guess being a girl dad is like,
I mean, Ashton Kutcher
cool
just
thing.
wore it once, and it
It
took off like
took off.
wildfire.
I didn't even know that he wore it.
Yeah. It's like
I'm not giving the credit to him.
in like the newsletter we put out. I swear it's been like in the top 3 like the last couple months. Like it's been
Oh,
for a
yeah.
long time.
Yeah,
so that's
yeah.
a big,
I like
it's a big
it.
seller. Check that out, but buy our stuff first.
Yeah. And second and third.
So as you can hear, Dante's here. Dante back in Chicago for the first time in how long? How long were you out on the East Coast? Obviously, people should be
Like 3 weeks.
3 weeks. People should be like kind of knowledgeable of what happened at this point. But
I don't think that if they looked at him, if they didn't know, they'd never know.
yeah, I know you're like down on yourself, but you look fucking great. Genuinely.
Dante got plastic surgery.
Yeah.
I know my Morgan and those guys,
Yeah.
when I was home, they were like, send us pics. You're going through a transition surgery. We know it. We know this is a cover for it. I was like, fuck.
So if you don't know, if you
I got roughed up.
yeah, so if people
Yeah.
don't know, just can you kind of lay out what
I got
happened?
roughed up. leaving a place I worked in Providence late at night, going to an Uber. Head was not on a swivel.
Why would it be though?
Dude, I don't know. I was
now
just,
it's like maybe you always have that.
I was just talking to Fasoli about this. I've been doing what I've been doing in this industry for a long fucking time, like almost 20 years, and I've never encountered something like this. And I was trying to think, like, have I ever gotten in dangerous situations? Yeah, but never where I wasn't aware. Or there wasn't like security around or police or something like that. So part of me is like, I'm a fucking idiot. You know, I was walking outside in a city I'm not really that familiar with and wasn't like aware of my surroundings. I wasn't fucked up. I was drinking, but I was supposed to be in Boston earlier the next morning to have breakfast with my uncle. So when I got done, everyone's in the bar hanging out. I ordered an Uber. It said it was 15 minutes away. So I was like, all right, I'm going to stay in here till it gets here. Everyone's drinking. The staff is doing, staff shots or whatever. And I was like, no, I'm good. I got to get up early tomorrow. And I walk out and just bang, that was it. And then next morning I woke up in the hospital.
You don't remember anything?
Dude, nothing, which is the weirdest fucking thing. Because I wake up, I'm on a stretcher, covered in blood, still have my clothes on from the night before. And I felt fine because I was on morphine or whatever they had in my IV. And I was just so confused. I was like, what the fuck happened? And a nurse came in, male nurse, Ken, who's the man. By the way, shout out Ken. And he was like, oh, you're finally awake. How you feeling? I was like, good. What the fuck happened? And he like starts like trying not to laugh. He's like, you don't remember anything? I was like, did I get in a car accident? Because the last thing I remember is going to my Uber.
Yeah.
And he was like, no. And he's like, you really don't remember? And I said, no. I was like, what happened? And he's like, you got beat up. I said, how many people? And he like starts laughing. He's like, you don't remember anything? I said, no, I was going to my Uber and that's the last thing I remember. He's like, yeah, one person. I was like, who the fuck? Mike Tyson? I was like,
yeah. Well, because that picture that I saw, Dave showed me. I think you sent me one too. It's like the worst picture I think I've ever seen.
It was bad, man.
Yeah. It was pretty fucking bad.
So you don't remember getting to like the Uber door or anything?
No. So the video, which I haven't watched, but my friends have watched and my attorneys watched.
Can I watch it? Respectfully.
Yeah, I'll have my buddy Vinny send it to you.
I actually don't want to see it.
I don't either because they said it's like watching yourself like get killed. But I walked out the door and this guy was waiting on like the corner and came up from behind me, smashed me in the back of the head. I like fall immediately unconscious and he just gets on top of me, starts wailing on me. There were like some girls on the street who came running, banging on the door for the security to come out, which they came flying out. And there was a homeless guy across the street. I told KFC and John this the other day. I was on KFC radio, who the security guards told me, they were like, yeah, there was this like random homeless guy who we've never seen before on the street, across the street, who came screaming, flailing his arms, like causing a big commotion, like yelling at the guy to get off of you. And I was like, that's pretty cool. That's like guardian angel shit.
Yeah, homeless angel, yeah.
I saw the tweet. I think it was a tweet. Some random stoolie was like driving by and saw it and started laying on the horn, he said.
Yeah. He said it was like he was like too like scared to get out and do anything. He was like, please don't hate me. I'm like, no, man, fucking.
Yeah. You
Who
can't
knows how you're going to react?
You don't know
to
if they have a gun or a knife.
Right.
People are fucking crazy as this shows. So.
And you didn't like in hindsight, because you know who did it now, right?
Yeah, they showed me the video of the guy in the bar and never fucking seen him, never talked to him.
No like bumpage in the bar, nothing.
No, dude, I was DJing. I was in a DJ booth all night, and it was a great night. It was like a top 10 night.
He didn't request like Mr. Brightside and he didn't play it. Like, none of that.
You're not supposed to be laughing hard. Chill out.
I know. No.
It's probably because you didn't play him Cotton Eye Joe.
Yeah, come on.
Danny, I wish you were up
Run
here,
around
Danny.
Sue.
Yeah, maybe one of these days. But was he specifically looking for you or just the next person to come out of that bar?
I honestly don't know.
Shot's so funny.
If it was a first time incident, I would say I was targeted. But this guy is 24 arrests and priors on his record. So he's just
violent.
He's just a scumbag. Yeah.
This is one of those things that I'll never understand. How is someone allowed to have 24 priors?
Yeah.
So I was talking to
Let him cook.
I was talking to Fasoli out there about this. My headphones just went out.
Yeah, that happens.
Yeah, the
You're
state's
good.
attorney was like, do you want to participate in this, prosecution? And I was like, what do you mean?
Fuck
And
yeah.
they were like, will you live in Chicago? Are you going to be able to get back for hearings? I said, oh yeah. Like I had no problem coming back. And they were like, okay, good. That helps us. And I was like, what do you mean? A lot of people don't. And they were like, no, that's how somebody with this many, criminal like arrests and everything is still on the streets. A lot of people reverse testimony, refuse to testify or drop charges. And I was like, really? And they said, yeah, that's part of our job is so hard. Like,
Because people just
prosecuting
like, I want to
people.
put it behind us, or
or they feel like intimidated or they just don't have time. I don't know. But yeah,
fucked
it was,
up. It's crazy.
It was wild. I'm glad to be back in Chicago though.
Glad you're alive.
What was the official laundry list of damage?
What do you mean?
Like, what was all your injuries?
Oh, they were. So my jaw is like all messed up. That's the only thing that still like hurts. I showed Ryan my mouth. Inside my mouth is all stitches, sutures that like dissolve and fall out, which is pretty fucking gross when you're like picking those out.
Yeah.
But I have like 2 titanium plates in my jaw now. The jaw was like broke, like right here, broke my wisdom tooth, which I'd never had out. So like right where that is, I guess, is weak. So that was fried. My orbital bone, which thank God I didn't like have any eyesight
damage,
problems. Yeah, I'm so lucky, man. I'm like honestly so lucky. I could have died. I could have been blind.
Did
Coulda-
you
He's
know-
lucky this didn't happen in
Brain
Chicago.
damage.
If you didn't see,
yeah, it would have probably been gone.
Yeah.
do you know? Did you like? I know you haven't seen the footage, but like, did he like knock you in the head while you were unconscious?
Oh yeah, like multiple
Because
times.
that's always like the most scariest part.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
that's how you know.
Oh yeah, I had staples in my head, back of
Really?
my head. Yeah,
So
I had
you were
7
like-
staples.
What about like ribs or anything?
No, surprisingly, I had a bad cut, like right on my elbow where this is. I don't know how that happened.
Are you?
And then I had like one of my fingernails like ripped off.
Cognitively, do you feel fine?
Yeah, man. I feel everyone's like
that's good.
Yeah,
Like-
bunch of. I'll admit, I was very like apprehensive about, just mentioning this at all, and then, my doctor told me like, yo, it's gonna be like 6 weeks until you're like eating and doing normal shit again. Like I told Dave, like I can't work out, I can't run. Like most I can do is sit on the bike, stationary and pedal. I was like, fuck, man, that's a long time to like try to lay low and be in the shadows.
You
and
need
all
to be
that.
stimulated more than anybody I know.
So I was like, all right. And I was like really, really down for a minute and just thinking like shit, like sorry for myself, shit, like, why'd this happen to me? And then, I was like, I can't fucking think like that. Like I just said, I'm so lucky to be alive. I'm so fucking lucky. I got into Mass General, arguably like best hospital in the country. Surgeon that worked on me is an absolute like just unbelievable wizard what he did to me. I was just so lucky. Like it could have been so worse. I could have, not got the medical care I did. Just a million things could have went bad. So I started looking at the positives, and then I talked to Nate and Hubs and those guys, and they were like, you should really, not like
Blog more.
no,
It's
but
gonna sound so shitty, but I get it.
but yeah,
It's
they
an
were,
outlet.
Dante,
they were
we're
like,
looking for Saturday, Sunday blogs. If you want to blog about your,
Your fingers aren't broken, are
your
they?
almost deadly injury,
so,
it's the best time to do it.
but I was like going back and forth, like, should I fucking post something about this, or like I'm worried like about the like real scumbags that find a way to just like be assholes about everything. I thought about them, and then I was like, whatever, fuck it. I'm not even gonna like pay attention. Just put it out there, and so many people were reaching out with just so much positivity, kind words, like prayers, stories of their own where they went through similar shit and advice and like, don't think like this. Don't don't doubt the doctors when they tell you don't eat. Don't fucking eat because it'll like just everything in the world. And it was like 99.9% of the people really, really surprised me and impressed me, and were just so nice and helpful.
We really do have like
it was awesome.
The best audience. Like they're just, you know, I think we have a tendency to focus on negative stuff, but like when we need people to rally,
That's true.
they fucking rally, and they're the best salt of the earth people. So I'm glad you had that experience too.
It was awesome.
Yeah.
So what's the timetable like from today?
So I have one more checkup in Boston next week, and then I got my final one, hopefully, which I asked them what can I put on my calendar, and they said June 6th. They're gonna give me another MRI and scan me.
Where are we eating?
I already got some set up. I told Ed.
Dude, so here's the thing.
Dave picked it. Don't worry.
Here's the thing.
A lot of oysters coming up.
You can probably do those now.
Did you consult him?
I did.
I could do oysters because you just swallow those.
You
but
picked this place?
No, he didn't mention me yet.
I told you about this the other day.
Why wouldn't you let him pick?
Wait, what did you say?
I tried to.
Okay.
You like Al's
I
Pizza,
asked you what your
Dante?
favorite restaurant was. You ghosted me, and then we were talking a day or two later, and I picked Bavette's.
You did say that. Yeah, if you can get us in there, I can't fucking get in there.
I just want to make sure that it was
You
your
can
pick.
get in there too, motherfucker.
Who, me?
You went to Bavette's one night, and I was like, how'd you get in there? You're
You
like,
can
I don't
go
know.
early, like you can just show
I
up.
was at 7 p.m. Not to brag.
Oh shit! How did you do that?
One of my friend's wives she's like a wizard with reservations. She got a 7 p.m. at Bavette's at 2 p.m. that day.
Dude, that
for
is
4 people.
Yeah, that's
crazy.
That's impossible.
I don't have.
Never heard of that in my life.
It's crazy. She's like a wizard. So
I think that's the hardest reservation in Chicago.
I'd say
Eddie.
Armitage Ale House.
Armitage Jailhouse is impossible.
Haven't tried. So
I've never been there.
I got
That's like been
excited. I was
for
trying to go
years.
there like recently.
Yeah.
I got excited because they had they have a slot available. It was at 9:45.
Yeah,
yeah.
like
They every once in a while they'll have a Tuesday at 9:45 available. And that's
see,
it.
I love that. That's like I'm European
late
like
time?
that. I love eating.
Bro,
late.
that's like really bugs me that people like won't go a little later once in a
I
while.
love eating
I'm
late.
not.
It's like-
I'll do it on
love
a
eating
Friday. I'm not doing
Yeah.
it on Tuesday.
Sure, yeah, agreed. You can't do that on weeknights, but on a Friday, it's too late. Like, come on, like 8:30 is too late on a Friday or Saturday.
But I'm 100% with Dave. If he can get us into Bavette's,
right.
I am there. But I don't know if I can. Like, I have no.
It's
I was just
later on in the month, so you.
I was
could,
just sucking on fruit snacks out there, like pressing down on those. Like, I have no jaw strength. It's the weirdest fucking
Well,
thing.
you'll have like 4 or 5 weeks from the 6th to build that strength back
Just
up.
rip it
so
right out.
start ripping, start chewing on like Laffy Taffies
Yeah.
and like doing some
Yeah,
jaw
some-
work.
Sox
some
Dave's
marrow
got a
bones like our
T-bone.
dog.
This is
Yeah.
great. This is great. Dante's
A
just
tomahawk.
he's got the oyster. He's like,
Yeah.
oysters were
How's
good.
your lobster bisque?
You're gonna have to choose food for him, Dave.
It's been all soups. And,
Yeah.
and I feel bad because I know like kind of what is going on lately. I've wanted to, and I also don't want to jack Eddie's shtick. But French onion has been like my savior.
Go to, dude.
My savior.
We'll compare game notes. I'll
Yeah.
give you. You go read the blog that I wrote 5 years ago. Now I should update that. I
You
should
should.
update
Dude,
that
you should
now.
do an Eddie 8 for
I
French
should.
onion.
I could.
You know what
I
killed
should.
Ed? You know what killed me?
What?
The fucking guy on Twitter last week reminded me how unbelievable Gale Street's
Oh yeah,
French
they got a
onion
great
was.
French onion.
I was like, fuck.
Yeah.
I forgot how good that is.
Fantastic.
But I was in Boston for a few weeks, and I'm pretty sure I hit every single steakhouse with French onion soup. Tried every single one in the whole city.
Everyone. All right, I got some for you if you haven't been here yet. I'll give you some.
Places are taking off the menu. It's getting summertime, so soups are coming off the menu.
That's true.
You're
How are you
doing
supposed
like,
to eat then?
dude, gazpachos.
How do you do the cheese though? On the
No cheese.
No cheese. You
No
just
cheese.
you
Oh,
break
that's
open the
tough,
pool
though.
cover and you do the.
The bread floats when there's no cheese underneath. The bread's on top. I just let that get soggy as shit.
Swallow that whole. Yeah.
There you
Yeah,
go.
that minestrone. Those have been like those have been my things.
Minestrone broth.
Yeah,
At least
Damn.
you're gonna be losing some weight.
dude, not like I thought.
No,
These protein shakes are just I don't know what's going
Those
on.
are loaded with carbs too.
It may be, but yeah, no, only down like 6 pounds.
Damn.
How long has it been? A month?
Almost like 3.
Kind of punch in your metabolism.
Yeah.
Damn. All right, Dante. Thanks for stopping by, sharing your story.
Thank you, fellas.
Thank God you're okay.
Yeah.
Sincerely, we all love you.
Summertime Don.
Yeah.
To go from what you
Right.
look like to now just basically looking like early 2000s Nelly, that's amazing.
Yeah, true. Do you want to? Do you want to sing "Through the Wire" right now?
Yeah.
Can we try?
I don't think that's allowed.
Through the wire. Wow. Oh, wow.
I think he's still canceled. I would love to. One of my favorite songs ever. But
Yeah. Well, there's like an AD/BC with Kanye, I feel. So that was before.
Yeah.
I think
I think that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At least that's what we got.
what does that mean? What does that mean?
Like there's when he started doing all this shit versus like, oh, I like the old guy who
Yeah.
made Through the Wire.
Oh,
Like you can
Yes.
be a fan of College Dropout.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
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 Exactly.
Separate the art
Same
from
thing
the
with
artist.
same thing with Michael Jackson. All those. Yeah.
Yeah. All right, Don. Thank you. Anything going on? Anything you want to pump out there? Backstage.
Oh yeah, I'm going to interview Breland right now at
Sweet.
Joe's on Weed.
Good stuff.
He's got a show there tonight. Going to see Joe. Talk more about our Windy City Smokeout game plan. Fasoli's here. I'm so happy about that.
Yeah.
More Chicago guys moving. It's gonna be a great summer, boys.
It's gonna be great.
It's gonna be one of the best summers.
Hot
ever.
boy summer.
You'll be ready by the time you.
Are you performing Smokeout this year?
Of course.
Okay,
Always.
good.
I told him one stipulation.
I'll have
What's
my
that?
list of songs for you.
I said one stipulation. Dave helped me. Not
I
gonna
know
lie.
I did. The entire crowd was
he's
going
like
wild.
the touchtunes guy.
Dave helped me
Yeah.
with that set. But I said, I'm only playing under one condition. Ed was like, what? I said, you have to have me turned up so the crowd can actually hear me this year. Because last year, do you remember
We could
it was
hear
like
you,
110 degrees?
Rainy, humid.
The stage hands were bullshit because they were like melting.
What day you playing?
Saturday.
Saturday. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
Good.
All right,
Awesome.
bye, guys.
All right.
Thanks,
you guys.
Dante.
Thank you, Dante.
Listen, so red line segment, obviously going to talk some Chicago sports. Unfortunately, like I said at the end of last show, Chief's a selfish prick. So we did not
no.
We did not get Victor Wembanyama.
No.
What?
I did my part to get Bedard. I knew the good luck spot was the Barstool River North. If you wanted Wembanyama and you were committed to him, you would have sat in that same booth at Barstool River North when the lottery balls were being pulled the same way that I did, and you would have had your guy. So I did my part. I can only control the Blackhawks, and I delivered.
Get him.
Not true.
True.
No, because obviously I wasn't there for Bedard. You were the secret sauce. You were the special ingredient. I was just an additive for the Bears one.
I think
you
it's
were
the
the main
place.
component that were there each time.
Wait
So
a
it's
second.
your fault.
Wait a second. Have I had any sort of sports luck in the last 10 years, 8 years since the Cup final? 8 years. I've had no sports luck. It has to do with the River North spot,
Dave,
not me.
Eviscerate this asshole.
Why would he eviscerate
I
me?
have had 1 year of happiness, you cocksucker.
Dave, I'm not.
Ever.
No.
Ever.
No one's more miserable than you. I'm not trying to take away your misery crown. You're the most miserable guy I know.
Thank you.
Big time.
Continue.
My point is, I recognize that Barstool River North was the lucky spot. That the Bears never should have had that number one pick. Never.
Never.
Not in a million
Thank
years.
you, Lovey Smith.
Thank you, Lovey Smith. Thank you, Barstool River North. Tom's got the that was like a perfect tweet, Tom. And Eddie was there for that game as well. And I'm like, I'm going back to the well. That's a magic spot. And what do you know? I had Darrell's there with me, and we brought it home.
Matt.
All right. On a separate note, though, I didn't want the Spurs to get it.
Why is that?
Spurs, come on, you
boring.
can't get that lucky that many times. David Robinson, Tim Duncan, and then Victor Wembanyama. I mean, granted, people will say the same shit about us and Kane and him, and
Yeah.
Kane and Bedard. But at the same time, I don't know.
Kane was not as much as a.
Yeah. He's wasn't as much Cam as. I guess it's the other side of the coin now, where we see the frustration of our fandoms being like, they have it too good.
Yeah.
Which what a lot of people felt about the Blackhawks getting Bedard, which I understand.
What were the Spurs odds?
Let me look
The
it up.
Pistons
Pistons had the
got-
best one, I know.
Yeah, they got kind of fucked because I know that
Yeah,
they're.
they lost like 60-something games, right?
They
Yeah.
moved 2 slots up, so they had a 14% shot.
Okay.
Well, that's like the top 3 teams all had the same amount
Correct,
for the
yeah.
number one. So San Antonio had 14, Houston had 14, and Detroit had 14. Did you see Wembanyama's little like fist pump when Houston didn't get it?
No, I did not.
He was like jacked. I guess he
Really?
didn't want to go to Houston.
Wow.
I don't know why, but it was like a viral clip.
Did you? I take it you didn't watch
He
it.
wanted to play for Popovich.
I take it
maybe.
you didn't watch it.
Absolutely not.
I watched it.
Okay, yeah. So Final Four. I wanted Portland because West he's away from us, and I like
Yeah.
Damian Lillard. That would have been a fun little tandem to see.
I don't like Damian Lillard.
Why is that?
I'm loyal to Pat Bev.
Yeah.
I'm a
I
Pat
can't
Bev
wait
guy.
to tell Pat Bev
Yeah.
what you just said.
Go get him another beer now.
Pat Bev would tell you that he likes his game. I like his game.
He's
That's
on the-
okay to
he's on
say
the
that you
list.
like someone's game.
He's on the list.
Yeah, he's on the list.
He's on the list. On the court. On the court.
Off the court. You won't acknowledge him off
Yeah.
the court.
Sure.
That's what it's
Off
like.
the
Hey,
court, whatever.
You just got an extra 2 days of beer duty.
Yeah.
Eddie.
You
Not true.
disloyal motherfucker.
Yeah.
That's not disloyal. That's not disloyal at all. Pat Bev respects game. I know he respects Damian Lillard's game. It's just a fact.
This,
just a fact.
this is a fucking spin. You know you're
It's
caught.
not
you know
a
you're,
spin. It's
you
not
know
a
you're
spin
in the
at all.
fucking web
It's a
now.
spin.
No,
Clip
no, no.
this up and send this just in like a private text to Pat Bev.
This is not even. This is a spin by you three.
No,
that's
it's
all
not.
this is.
I mean, we went through the list, and he was like, "That guy like won't look at me off the
named
court."
names.
So
for
all
him.
right, Chief wanted him to go to Charlotte. He wanted him to be in the Bulls and the Bulls conference and
said
just
that?
terrorize it. Who else did you want him to go?
I didn't have any problem with San Antonio. They're in the West. I don't care. Let them have another guy. I don't care.
Yeah.
What does San Antonio mean to me? Nothing.
Yeah, I don't. Too much winning. Too much winning. It's just too. And
They haven't won in a while.
I think it was like 2014, 2016, something like that.
Enough,
Yeah.
yeah.
What was the year where what's his face is the Finals MVP? He's on
Kawhi?
Kawhi Leonard.
I don't know what that year was.
It was within
Yeah, that was like 2015, 16.
something like that. Yeah.
Something like, yeah.
Where they beat LeBron. So in the Heat. So yeah. I honestly like. Can I say something about San Antonio?
Sure.
They don't have anything else. They got nothing. They're far. They're not like they don't. They have to latch on to the Cowboys who are far or the Texans who are far. Like they don't have. They have one pro sports franchise, and cities like that, if they get to have a little joy with their one team,
That's where you lose me.
I think that's fine.
That's where you lose me.
You don't want anyone to have any joy.
No.
Right.
Why would I?
Yeah, but if you had to choose between, I guess Portland only has the one team as well, right? Yeah, they only have the Blazers.
Yeah.
So, but if you had to choose between San Antonio and
Checkmate.
Houston, I would go with San Antonio. Fuck Houston.
Yeah. I
They're
mean, I
getting-
don't really.
They're getting a hockey team.
I got nothing against Houston.
Is that official?
No, but it
But I
sounds
did see that. That
sounds like it's official that they're going to be out of
Arizona?
Arizona,
well, that's also. I mean,
which I've been hearing that behind the scenes for a while.
What did and we could, we've talked before about the Vooch trade and the how poorly it's aged, but
Kind of all those moves.
yeah, so it's unfortunate. We'll get into it another time too when people are really locked into it, but it sucks, especially to see
maybe ahead of the draft.
everything out there. Yeah, but did you? We could get into hockey a little bit. You have like a vendetta against ESPN now.
Yeah, I mean ESPN. I said this.
Whitney had a great rant on Spit and Chicklets.
Oh, I didn't hear that.
Yeah.
What'd he say?
He just basically was just motherfucking ESPN about how they don't care about hockey.
Yeah, and that was always the thing. And I said that, like, it's one of those. It's like, do you pick the right partner for your product? Which I don't know. I don't think NBC did the best job of that either, because I think that they were very short-term focused. Like, they had like when the Flyers and Red Wings and Sabres were so bad for a long time, they would always give them national TV spots because they knew that those markets would tune in and they could sell more sponsorships, as opposed to being like, well, we got Austin Matthews playing against Connor McDavid, but fuck it, we're not going to have that game on national TV. So like NBC was not like a perfect partner, but
Were they versus?
they were Outdoor Network, then they were Versus, then they were NBC Sports, and that going back to 2005. And so yeah, I think that was, and I said it when they signed that deal, where it's like, look, it's great in some ways to be with the mothership. It's because NBC Sports and Versus always had issues where certain cable packages in different parts of the country didn't carry it. So you were going to be limited to like who you could give your product to in a way that ESPN and Turner never were. But at the same time, ESPN is going to treat you like a redheaded stepchild, which is what they do. They're an NBA And apparently MLB Sunday Night Baseball, they wouldn't flex that. They wouldn't flex it, and then they wouldn't trade that Game 7 either between Vegas and Edmonton. So they put it on at 10 o'clock at night Eastern on a Sunday.
I agree with Whitney, though. He said, why didn't they wouldn't move the baseball game to ESPN2.
Yeah.
NHL should just try to take ESPN2 at 8 p.m. Eastern.
Yeah,
right? Like,
I guess, but then
what's the big difference? Then
I personally would agree with that. I don't know,
Yeah.
but then is that like a pissing contest? I guess.
yeah, but then that's all ego. Well,
Yeah,
that's what it is, right?
Look at, I'm fine, and in some ways, this, like, if you're a hardcore fan, ESPN has been great because they do the streaming through ESPN Plus. You get every single game, home and away broadcast on Hulu, ESPN Plus, whatever you want. So if you're a hardcore hockey fan, you don't have a ton to complain about during the regular season because whatever game you want, you have access to if you want it. There's never been a better time to be a hockey fan. But come playoffs, that's your showcase. 90% of your TV audience doesn't tune in during the regular season. They're coming out to watch these games when everybody gets jacked up, you included.
Yeah.
Everyone loves that first round of the playoffs. And you want to see the stars, and you have this opportunity where the Celtics NBA game against the Sixers, their Game 7, I think that was like a 2:30 start. It was done by 6. You could have had it in prime time for most of the country to see the best player, the most talented guy I've ever seen in Connor McDavid in a Game 7. And they're like, you know what? Sunday night, fuck it. Put it on at 10 o'clock Eastern. That, to me, is just like, you don't care. Like, you don't care about your product. And it's like, in the NHL, they just went for the big fat paycheck instead of looking at maybe who would take care of them. And
I don't think it's about they don't care.
it clearly
It's just more
is.
so there's a totem pole, and that there's a hierarchy.
Right.
There's a totem pole,
Right.
And they are not more important than baseball to them.
Definitely.
And that's
But
just,
I
you
would
know.
say that they don't. Right.
Who was
so,
the Sunday night game? It was
I don't even know.
Have we seen the ratings yet?
it was Red Sox Cardinals, I want to say.
Yeah, so a big market, but yeah, so maybe Witt's right. Be like, put it on ESPN2 if
Yeah.
you know, because those are two teams that probably get that fan bases that will tune in for sure. But it is disappointing, and it's like, and then they botched the draft lottery. Their broadcasts, like when the broadcasts were even during the regular season, were on ESPN Plus, and their crews just not as fucking good. They're between periods. It's terrible. Thank you, Tom.
ESPN broadcast team is horrible.
Awful.
What's your biggest gripe with it?
Me or Tom?
You got either of you?
It was just like it's not a problem this year, but last year when after the first round, the Rangers were taken off the MSG broadcast, and it was like unbearable to listen to. It was just like I don't know, not a lot of like knowledge, I think, in the broadcast booth. Like there was some parts where they wouldn't even acknowledge if there was like a power play going on, or like
It's crazy. It's crazy.
Like I think I'm kind of like somewhat of a knowledgeable hockey fan, but there was like some glaring things where I'm like, how are they not mentioning this just happened, or
major things? And they would do that all the time. I remember they had there was the Blackhawks were on ESPN Plus during the regular season, and there was it was like some milestone got broken. Oh, it was Ovi, like when he hit 700 goals or something like that. They like break in, and they had some like B-roll thing from some puff piece playing in the corner, and they're having the audio go of that while Ovi's scoring like this massively important goal. Like there's been 2 guys ever who have scored 700 goals, and they just fucking missed it. And it's like they make like all these program errors, and then go ahead.
No, just comparatively too. Like I'm not doing a good job explaining it, maybe, but comparatively, there was they split the broadcasting last year. It was like ESPN and what was the other one? TNT, I think.
Yeah, TNT's
and
awesome.
then TNT was night and day. And I just remember watching the replays of TNT, being like, how come we can't get this? Like the goal calls were 10 times better.
Yeah.
Just the broadcast in general was just like a better quality for hockey fans.
And
even if you weren't a hockey fan too, because it was like they brought the energy of what playoff hockey is.
Well, and they went out and got the best people available. They went out and got Ed Olchuk. They went, they got like the big, and they went out and got Paul Bissonnette. And then ESPN went out and got, names from the 90s that Chris Chelios and Mark Messier. They're big in studio guys. And then they tried to spice it up with Subban. That's like their intermission crew. It's fucking terrible. And it's very disappointing. It's very disappointing. And then, when you're not, and I would say that, there's definitely a totem pole, and those are fair points about like hockey is definitely going to be behind. baseball, NBA for sure, but and a Sunday night game between the Red Sox and the Cardinals. Like I get that as a hockey. I know hockey is niche. I know it's niche, but like you have to be flexible. You're still paying $1 gazillion or for the rights to this. You should want to showcase it, and I would assume that part of the reason you plan on making some of while you have it for this prolonged time, you would think that you would want to use your muscle to grow it. So by the end of the deal,
I don't think that's
by the end of the deal, it looks like a much better deal because you've used your marketing and your platform to grow this game and showcase these stars. So then by year 7 or 10 of the TV deal with ESPN looks like fucking gangbusters because now this is a better product after, or a more popular product because they have marketed it properly. You think it'll never get there?
No. I think that they looked at it as a way to grow their subscriber base, which they needed for ESPN Plus. Yeah, so they looked at it as the opposite way. They wanted hockey's audience to grow their shit.
Yeah,
and that's what I think their motivation
very
is.
fair.
And
counter.
because studio network programming is in the tank.
Yeah.
Live rights is everything. So it's like, yeah, we'll buy NHL. We'll get all the people to, watch it. Nobody will cut cable packages. And they thought of it intrinsically.
That was very smart.
Thank you.
Yeah. You're right. Yeah.
You get a gold star for the day.
Yeah.
Thank you.
But it could be like we scratch your back, I scratch ours, or whatever that is, because you want more fans.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
I mean, longevity, they are thinking short term if they are thinking the way that I just said.
Yeah.
Long term, it would be beneficial to them to
Right.
start making these kind of moves.
Yeah.
But who knows? Maybe they will. Well, how long was the deal?
I think it was like 8 or 10 years.
Oh, okay, yeah. Like, who knows? There's a lot of
But
time.
I think this is now year 2 or 3.
Yeah.
So it's like you're into it, and it's like that is one of those things where it's like it's Vegas, so it's a sexy team. It's Jack Eichel. They were playing against Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl. It's just if you're ever going to have an opportunity,
that was it.
That was it. And this is Game 7, and I think even if the numbers don't justify it, or you have to get it right with different sponsors who bought in for Sunday Night Baseball. This is an opportunity to do it. So I don't know. I've been disappointed with their coverage. And then even Tom, I don't know if you can speak to this because I feel like you would know better than me. The sound mixing on some of these ESPN Plus games is atrocious. Like the ice sounds are like way too loud. You can't the broadcasts sometimes are too loud. You can't hear the fans at all. And it's like in places where it's like the fans are loud.
Yeah.
It's not like they're a church mouse.
It's just one of those things. Like I don't know. You kind of just watch it and you're like, this just sucks. And
everything about it.
Yeah, like just stuff like that. Maybe just kind of just builds up all together. But
it's unfortunate.
I don't want to sound like like an idiot. But it's just like it's just everything. You know?
And then and I do think
I remember there was like a goal call one time where it was like a breakaway and the goal call was early and he scores. Like that was the goal call for like a playoff game-winning hockey game.
It's tough. Well, there's a league that doesn't get this stuff fucked up, and that's because they're the king, and that's the NFL. And the Bears schedule has dropped.
Yeah.
Anything stick out to you?
I love the bookends.
Of course. That's the first thing that sticks out, and that leaked pretty early last Thursday.
I was a little disappointed that there wasn't a Germany game for the boys. I wanted a boondoggle on that.
That would have been nice. That would have been nice. So here it is, week 1, week 18 against Green Bay. I mean, the NFL, you want to talk about script writing. You want to talk about, they should have slotted them into season 8 of Game of Thrones because they know what they're doing with that week 1 against the Packers.
Yep.
They're setting it up. Fields versus Love. Love wins, and it's like, oh my gosh, they have a third quarterback who's going to be dominant.
Yep.
And Fields wins, it's like, here we come. The Bears are here. So it's just a completely great job by the NFL schedule.
The NFL, this is why they're the kings.
Yes, because they could do stuff like this. So bookending, and then of course, right again, week 18, Bears at Green Bay. To who knows, fighting for a wild card spot. Who knows what's going on? So incredible job by them for doing that.
I half joked about 11 to 12 wins on that schedule, and maybe I'm crazy, but I think they're going to have a very good year. Like there's not a lot of teams on there where it's like I'm putting an automatic loss. Like at Kansas City, probably an automatic loss. Like put an L there, but the rest of it, it's like you can make an argument for almost I think
what they need to do probably.
What?
Assuming they're, scratching and clawing at a playoff berth, That Panthers game would be kind of nice to lose. Just throwing it out there.
What?
You want them to
Panthers
win,
game.
bro.
Oh fuck, I'm an
Yeah,
idiot.
you want them.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a must win.
That's a must win.
The
Yeah,
opposite.
never mind.
The opposite.
Dave, people are gonna make fun of you for that. I won't, because that kind of shit happens to my brain sometimes.
No. I just got twisted. I
Yeah, you
hate,
did.
Yeah.
hate.
Big time.
The opposite. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it's Sunday afternoon. We'll call
So
it.
besides that,
Brain
2
cell.
Thursday night games.
Yep.
Obviously, that one Dave just talked about at home against the Panthers. Then we go to Washington in October. That's before that Carolina game. One Monday night game at Minnesota. Surprised
They're
by
gonna get
that, I
flexed
guess.
on one or two of them.
I thought, well, you can only get flexed on Sundays.
Yeah.
You can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
So like that Cleveland could be a flex.
yeah, who knows? Like
Yeah.
we got one Sunday night against the Chargers. I like that Fields versus Herbert. Get some
Yeah.
Herbert's,
We have to be in Green Bay for that Week 17 or 18 game.
if it matters.
Yeah.
If it
What
matters,
does matters mean to you?
if there's a playoff spot on the line.
On the line, or
Yeah.
could they be
Have
playing?
you been to Lambeau? I haven't been to Lambeau.
I've been there, not for a game.
What if they've clinched, but they're playing for like either home field or a division championship?
I don't know if the pizzazz is as much. Like
It's not worth the cold to you.
it's fuck.
That's what he's trying to get out of. See, that's the only
That's
time
what
I like
that's-
weather.
I
I
will
want to see the
say-
Packers in September when it's 90 degrees
I
out.
saw the Packers. I went. My buddy from high school was a big Packers fan. I went to Packers Jaguars in like 2006.
Buddy,
It was the coldest I've ever been.
I think you're a lunatic if you go week 17, week 18, and it doesn't mean anything and for anybody.
yeah. Yeah.
Personally, why?
Yeah.
Like,
I
why
just-
subject yourself?
I just want
I
to know what
enjoy
your
it.
definition of. Yeah, you are crazy about that.
It's weird.
Yeah.
It's the only time I like the cold.
Yeah, but I
just
wanted
bundle
to
up.
know what Ed defined as if it matters. So if it's a game on the line, it matters. I've also never had any luck when I go to Lambeau, so I might just
Yeah,
even
you
if
went-
I would have to sit. I would have to watch that Barstool River North probably.
Probably.
Yeah.
Besides that, so going to New Orleans, I like that. Should be that
Very
one we
interesting.
should circle to
Yep.
maybe go to. I don't.
Well, you
I've
love
never been to New Orleans.
I
wanted
haven't
to
either.
Cajun
That's-
country and
and-
get some.
and you love to scuzz, and that's a scuzzy
My
city.
only, that's my only concern
Yeah.
about New Orleans is going there with White Sox Dave.
Why would you say that?
Like I'm worried
You have to
wouldn't-
get like
I'm
those
worried
toddler
you
leashes.
wouldn't
Or
come
you,
back,
yeah. We'd have
Those
to.
are inhumane, by the way.
I want beads.
They are.
Like it's a fucking shame you haven't been there.
We should get him like microchipped like George. Make sure we can take him home.
It's a city that's for you.
Yeah.
I've heard this.
It's
That's
like
why I
that
wanna
in
go.
like Windsor,
I
Canada.
honestly, I wanna
Put a GoPro on
just
his
go there
head.
to
Yeah.
eat because that's like some of my favorite
No,
style.
no,
food.
no. You want to go there to booze?
Yeah.
And listen to people jamming out on the piano.
Yes,
That's
exactly.
why you
Yeah.
want to go there.
And see some titties.
Yeah, see that.
You like
which
titties,
is
right,
not
Dave?
that prevalent
are
outside
good.
of Mardi Gras from what I found. I don't know if you've been outside
Not if
of
you're
Mardi
White
Gras.
Sox, Dave.
True. They'll be-
You've been to Mardi Gras?
No, that's what I'm saying.
How are you feeling looking at that right now in general? Are you,
I feel good. Obviously, we
because it's
usually,
like it's a last place schedule for
Usually we do the win losses with Big Cat like
Yeah.
right before the season, but like no joke. I feel good. I've said this before though. I fully expect the Bears to be competing for a wild card spot. I do.
But I would say like you're the more cautious of this group. For
so I
sure.
think that's pretty ambitious for me
that's
to say
what,
that.
Yeah, that's
it
what-
is.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm the most cautious, but I also there's reason for that.
Totally,
You know, there's
totally.
reason for that.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
I also don't-
negativity. There's just reason for
Yeah,
it.
and I don't think they're done. Poles is talking about adding some kind of an edge like that. Like they're going to continue to add little. Like most of the building blocks are there now, but they're going to add little pieces. And come week 1 against Green Bay at home, I love that game's at home, and they don't count those as national TV games. But that 325 Fox spot is it's a big
Yeah,
spot.
everybody's gonna be watching that.
Looks like that middle of the schedule is what's kind of not funky, but
Back
that's
to
where I
back
think
on
it's
the
going to
road.
be Vikings, Raiders,
Yeah.
Chargers, New Orleans, and then even Carolina on Thursday.
A lot of road games there.
Yeah, like there's like that middle, that meat schedule where
Yeah.
the schedule gets kind of grinding as well.
Yeah.
That I could just be on the lookout for.
Yeah, if
is
you
what I'd say.
get to that Chargers game with, maybe only 2 losses on the schedule, I think you're in a really good spot.
Yeah, I
You
think so,
mean?
too.
Yeah, you mean they'd be in a good spot, being like 6-2? I'd
No,
say
it'd
so.
be like 4
It'd
and
be
2.
4-2, Dave.
Yeah.
Packers.
Packers.
Is Bears Panthers being put on Thursday primetime because of the draft pick implication?
No.
No,
I
I think I don't
Then
feel
why
like
is it-
Thursday never has like
That's
overly
such a
sexy
random
games though.
game though to be put as a prime Thursday
Bears,
night game.
Panthers. I mean,
Number 1 pick against Justin
yeah.
Fields. I think
Bryce,
it's more.
Bryce Young versus.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think it could be that, but
That's true.
But I feel like Thursday in general has like kind of stinkers.
Yeah, DJ Moore versus Old Team. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, that's the that's the quick schedule breakdown.
Yeah, I'm excited. I like that. When the Hawks got Bedard, I was just like, get me to the fall, like, you know, where it's like Chicago summers are great, but I want football. I'm excited for the Bears, and I'm excited for Connor Bedard, and everything that I actually care about like gets going in September, and I can't wait for this fall.
Lance, any takeaways for you about the schedule?
Yeah, I was going through it myself, and it made me realize just how much sometimes I am just like a homer. I was looking at it, and I was like 12-4. We got it. You know, like 13-4. Like, we got this. But in reality, yeah. I mean, if you look at it, like, are the Broncos good? I don't know.
I don't
you know,
think so.
like.
Their win total right now? Let's pull up the old Barstool
I'm going to
Sports
guess
book app.
7.
The thing is, too, like, obviously we're confident in a lot of the moves we made, but there is still a lot of holes.
Yeah. A lot? I feel like it's edge. If they get if they shore up the edge, I feel pretty good about that team.
Chase Young, let's get him.
Yeah, it's just pretty important. The whole front. I mean, even what?
I guess I'm like
the whole front.
Yeah.
The whole front four, I think. But
but they got some guys, and then they draft it. You know,
yeah,
like,
but you're counting on rookies too.
No, you're right.
You're counting on a lot of uncertainty, I guess is the word. Other than that, Cubs are still sliding. But Christopher Morel is a stud.
Dude, he's awesome.
Yeah, he's fun to watch, man.
David Ross is taking a lot of heat for that, for kind of saying like, yeah, there won't be at bats for him every night, like just the way the lineup's constructed. Everyone's like,
yeah, better
good
find
manager
a spot.
Figures out a fucking
Yeah.
way. So
Yeah.
That's
I've
always
seen
kind of a tough
Ross
spot to
getting a lot
maneuver.
of shit.
He is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's been a big focal point. Is that it's such a weird roster.
It is.
You know,
yeah.
the Cubs have such a weird roster.
Well, and it's like they have guys that they probably want to play every day, like Hosmer, Mancini, even Madrigal, who probably aren't, you know, like for sure, like they're kind of almost like quad A guys at this point. Would you say like
pretty
these
much.
veteran guys? So you're trying to like mix
I
and
never
match
understood the Hosmer signing for them because they had Mervis right there like, waiting in the wings.
He fucking smashed one last night. Yeah.
I don't think maybe they anticipated the outcry of people that would be like, why the fuck isn't this guy up? Because you get really simmered towards the end there until he got brought up.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't think he was ready. I don't really know. It doesn't. It's strange because that's I don't want to say it's a bad organization move to only play the guy because he's a veteran, but it happens frequently.
Oh,
Yeah.
in every sport, I feel.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you
Oh,
feel
yeah.
like the good organizations are like, hey, let's cut bait now. Like, let's
Yeah.
just do it. Let's just move forward, and we will worry about the rest later. So credit to them for getting them up. They're figuring
Yeah.
out ways to do it. But at the same time,
It's hard to figure out your best 9 with that group, though.
yeah, it is. So I think they're still kind of figuring that out too.
I mean, a lot of times you're going to rob Peter to pay Paul in those situations, too. Cause
What do you mean by that?
Like, one player could be, like right now the White Sox are doing it again. They're playing guys out of position because they need the best offense on the field, so their defense is suffering, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
And
But where the
but
Cubs are,
shouldn't really need to worry about that because the Cubs defensively are one of the best teams in baseball.
yeah. Now, do you play some of those? Let's play the either or. Let's play the roads both traveled, right? If you play some of those veterans and they do get hot,
You flip them.
The trade value is
That's
maybe
what they're looking for.
Yes, you know. So rather than, you know, of course, like the Cubs shouldn't really care that much if they win this year. So
Right. I was going to say the
sorry
same
if
thing.
that's a hot take,
Yeah.
but that's my opinion.
Well, it was never the plan. It's
Yes.
almost like
This was the
fuck,
bridge
we got
year.
off to
Yes.
too hot of a start.
Exactly.
So now everyone's like pumped.
Yes.
Yeah, now there's expectations.
Yeah.
Right.
So they should try to figure out ways to get both of those guys more at bats, but I think they do want to get a way to get Hosmer, Mancini
Yeah,
hot and
something.
try to
Get
figure something
something.
out.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see. Besides that, I saw Stroman's. They're having extension talks. What's your honest assessment on him as a pitcher, Dave?
He's fine. He's
not a 1?
No, he's not a 1.
It's not a 1.
Like that's such a subjective term. And I mean, I'm asking hypothetically, does every team have a 1?
Probably
It's
not.
just like, I mean,
There's someone that's slotted in the first rotational spot. There's
Right.
a best pitcher on
Yeah.
every staff.
the ultimate.
there's the
but there's a ton of teams who are like, I wish we had a guy better than our best
right,
guy.
Yes.
of course.
Yeah.
So no, like he's not a guy that
ultimate Quintana.
like I wouldn't want to give him the ball in game 1, game 3, or game 7, or game 4, game 7.
Yeah.
yeah.
You know?
And I mean, just the way the season's going, like steals,
Yeah.
fucking been awesome.
Yeah.
So
And he is awesome.
yes, he is awesome. And
But he's not really a 1 either, though.
yeah,
I would not say so. I need guys that miss bats and they're
like-
kind of adrenaline dump guys.
Yeah.
Like you get them in that big moment and like when the pressure's on, they get going. You know?
Your classic Roger Clemens.
yeah,
power
but you
history.
say
Yeah.
that,
Right.
but Hendricks was a very solid
Yeah.
one for his time.
He was.
Was he wasn't like Lester was the one on that team.
He started.
I would say.
He started the season as the number 1 starter.
No, I
Yeah,
understand that,
Before.
but that's the argument I'm trying to make. And I'm not just relegating it specifically to the Cubs. Like
Right.
John Lester is the guy that would have been getting the ball because
Yeah.
he's a 1.
And
Maybe
and,
not the guy that started the season, like getting the ball in game 1, but he was your 1. He
well,
was your
and
ace.
then,
you know?
and Arrieta was in that class too.
And Arrieta, of course.
And then he's to like your even. I mean, Lester was so money for so many years, but like when you're talking about your classic 1 power pitcher, like Arrieta, when he was
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like, he is the definition of like
Absolutely.
that guy, that
Yep.
look. And I love like Hendricks might be like he's a top 10 Cub ever for me. Like I love Kyle Hendricks. But
He's an artist. I
he's
loved
just
watching
not-
him pitch.
He's just not like that
Right.
guy.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. A
Yeah.
lot. It's kind of just a.
It's a feel out year. Just
Yeah.
keep
It
really
feeling
is.
it out. Let
Yeah.
these guys that are going to be here long term, like Mervis, Morel, even fucking Wisdom is still not at the pace he was, but he's still mashing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he's turned into a quality big leaguer. He's not even like the quadruple A, quad A guy you were talking about. He's a bona fide big leaguer. Probably an all-star. Like he may carry this out to be an all-star this year, which is crazy. Like those are the guys that matter. It's like Eric Hosmer, he doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You know, he's not going to be here. Maybe next month he might not be here. You know.
Yeah.
for sure.
So just keep rooting for those guys that you need to be good to be successful as a organization in the future. Root for them to be good,
For sure.
and hope that you have a front office and ownership group that will put the appropriate complementary pieces around them.
Yep. Yeah, I mean, on that note, that's all 4 major sports. That's all the teams that we cover on this show. So we could
Wrap
we
it
could
up.
wrap it up.
You want to wrap it up before we talk about like without talking about one of the hottest guys in baseball?
Yeah, that's all I want to say about the White Sox. They are like right now. I'm doing the opposite. I'm rooting for the guys that will bring back trade pieces to do well. Giolito, love the guy. He's out the door. But Robert is. It's like, dude, I know what's gonna happen. They're gonna fuck it up. They're not gonna build around him appropriately. I just know that's gonna happen. And it's a damn shame because it's really weird. So obviously new coaching staff. He started the season first 5, 7, 8 games or so. He was smashing. He was raking. He looked awesome. And then he had just this long drawn out. It's like, holy shit, people were throwing around the B word, saying fucking, I mean, obviously you can't just do this due to his contract, but idiots out there were like, DFA his ass. He's no good. He's a bust. It's like, but it got to a point where I'm watching and I'm like, he's not that good. And he got benched. And ever since he got benched for not running out that chopper to first base or to the pitcher, then it like a light bulb went off. And he had a quote, and people really, really got on both him and the White Sox about this. Now, there are some hitters out there. I'm just going to use the one off the top of my head, Albert Pujols. Albert Pujols, I would assume, just spent hours and hours and hours and hours breaking down opposing pitching staffs, his own swing, how he does against any specific pitcher in particular, how he reacts to different pitches in particular. And he probably, like a guy like him, for instance, they need every ounce of information presented to them. Luis Robert, and I talked to Scott Merkin about this before Robert even had these quotes. I want to hope that Scott Merkin just called this and that he hadn't talked to Robert off the record prior. But Robert was telling, like, in text messages during one game, he's like, Robert he's got too much information being given to him right now. He's a guy that you just need to say, go and hit the ball.
Yeah.
And there are those guys out there.
Totally.
That, like, the more they think, the worse they do, you know?
Like that old cliche. It's like paralysis by analysis.
That's exactly what it was, yeah. And I've been there a million times at this job, obviously. But it's like, and Robert, like, I don't know, a week ago or so, he had a quote where he's like, man, I was... like they were telling me to do this with my swing. They were like all these biomechanics and like looking at computers and video. And he's like, I don't need that. I just need to know how hard does the pitcher throw, what pitches does he throw, and then I'll go and ever since then he's been raking. But
Dude,
people were jumping down his throat.
Had a golf lesson can relate to that. 'Cause
Exactly.
It's like you start thinking about like
I was doing it at the fucking thing the other day.
Right.
Yeah, because he's like trying to tweak me and I suck at golf.
You're like,
but
just let me roll my ankles and swing as hard as I can.
Yeah, and every here and there it might hit the fairway, the other fairway,
right,
on the opposite hole. But
you're just happy that the first base run out thing didn't affect him long term. Like, it's good to
Totally,
see him back on track this quickly, because those are like a little intricacies in someone's career that someone will
like a
always
butterfly.
point to. And it's like it wasn't the same after that. So you're happy that like he got
you recovered.
Dude, but it's weird because he went from being like so unbelievably ice cold offensively, and I'm talking like 35% K rate, 0. He didn't have a walk until like probably the 25th game of the season.
That's crazy.
It was insane. He was swinging at fucking everything. I was like, it was legit like the Monstar stole his power. It was crazy how bad he looked, and then gets benched, and now he looks like MVP again.
It'd be funny.
He's as hot as any hitter I've ever seen. He's fucking killing the ball.
It would be funny if like the coaching staff, after he dogged that one, were like, fuck this guy, we're not giving him any more information, just like started ignoring him.
Yeah.
And then that's what made him
that's
take
what
off.
clicked.
Yeah.
But whatever he's doing, hopefully he can ride this. But it's like, what do you trade him? Obviously, if he does this through the deadline, you could get a king's ransom for someone like that. Someone who
But he's
plays
still so young, though.
Yeah, it turns 26 like in 4 or 5 months. I looked up this morning, actually. I think it's actually October. But he turns 26 this year. He's still so young, but at the same time, even if they do decide to, and they're going to keep him this year. He's not going anywhere this year because they're going to try to do the retool on the fly thing like they've always done, and they're going to fail at it. Then they might do another rebuild, keep him, maybe not keep him. Either way, like I don't see them winning with Luis Robert, and I always try to warn people, like a team and a player, they're never as good as when they're their hottest.
Yeah. And
they're never as bad as when they're their coldest. They're always going to be somewhere in the middle, you know?
Yep.
And so Robert, he's going to have another, hopefully not 5 for 75 stretch with 40 strikeouts, but he's going to cool down eventually. But like, assuming he's at 275, 350 with 650 power numbers, that's and including his incredible up the middle defense. He's been just flat out unbelievable defensively this year. Like that, it sucks that it's going to be wasted. Which I would assume is going to be wasted because the organization doesn't do anything right.
You sound healthier, I will say.
Yeah.
The Bears over under line, I looked it up while Dave was ranting there. It is 7.5.
Okay.
I think I'm going.
Give me that fucking over.
Give me that over.
Give me it. Give me that over.
I lost a large wager yesterday.
Responsibly.
Sorry to hear that.
Responsibly.
Sorry to hear that.
I made a 5-unit play in the Mariners. They were
Oh
down
yeah,
4-0 in
I
the
told
first
you on
inning.
that.
That's right.
I told you on that. I made a 3-unit play, and I looked it up. I looked at my account and it had zeros because I just used the rest of what was in there, and it was. I'm like, how did that happen? And I'm like, oh, because I listened to Dave.
The babe failed me.
Yeah.
First time he's lost a pick of the month all
month.
He was 8. He was 8-0 since he started tallying them. That was his first loss.
Damn.
All right, everybody, buy a Father's Day shirt. They're on sale now. Go buy
and
one.
listen to Tuesday's episode of the Mid Show.
Yeah, dude, I was a little heavy if you didn't listen, but it kind of explains kind of the dynamics of what has been going on in the Chicago office. So if you missed out on that, if you're only tuning in for the sports, probably want to go check that out. Also, go check out me and Dave today on Dog Walk. We had a nice one-on-one conversation. It was actually kind of nice.
Was it pleasant?
I thought so. I don't know.
You
if
guys have a little bit of.
Why are you getting all rosy-cheeked over there?
It was a different conversation than what people are used to. Usually we're going at each other's throats. We weren't really doing that.
Well, that's your fault. Eddie, love you. Chief, love you. Danny, you're a twink. Tom, you're just kind of there.
Can we end the show?
Lance.
Yes. End the show. Thank you.
Yeah.